In December of 1984, the world's deadliest industrial disaster didn't happen over weeks or months. It happened overnight. The tragedy in Bhopal, India, was completely manufactured by deliberate corporate decisions. Every mechanical failure that night was the direct result of a policy to prioritize cost-cutting over basic human safety. This is the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide factory. It was established in 1969 to manufacture a chemical bug killer called 7, which Indian agriculture desperately needed at the time. To maintain a steady supply of cheap labor, the company built the plant right next to densely populated civilian zones, like the Jaya Prakash Nagar slum. Tens of thousands of people live directly in the shadow of its exhaust towers. Inside those towers sat the core ingredient for their pesticide, a highly volatile, incredibly deadly chemical compound known as methyl isocyanate, or MIC. To store something this dangerous, the factory was originally designed as a high-tech engineering fortress. But as pesticide sales slowed down in the early 80s, management systematically dismantled nearly every line of defense to save money on daily operations. The collapse of those defenses began on the night of December 2nd, right around 9 p.m. Workers were carrying out a routine maintenance job, using high-pressure water hoses to clean clogged pipes near the chemical storage area. Standard safety procedure requires a solid metal plate, called a slip blind, to be inserted between the pipes to physically block water from flowing into the chemical tanks. But to save time and maintenance costs, the factory simply didn't bother installing one. To make matters worse, management had recently installed a jumper line, a piped shortcut linking the processing unit directly to the storage tanks. Without the slip blind to stop it, the cleaning water bypassed its normal route entirely, took this new shortcut, and cascaded straight down into an underground MIC storage tank designated E610. By law, to safely absorb the pressure of any accidental reactions, these tanks were never supposed to be filled past 50% capacity. Union Carbide ignored their own safety manuals and packed tank E610 to 75% with liquid MIC. When the water hit that massive volume of liquid MIC, it triggered a violent, unstoppable exothermic reaction. The temperature inside the tank spiked, pressure built up rapidly, and the heavy concrete shell above the tank cracked wide open. The boiling liquid instantly vaporized into a toxic gas, forcing its way out of the shattered tank and surging upward into the factory's exhaust pipeline. The chemical reaction was completely out of control. Yet, even at this critical stage, a catastrophic leak was preventable, provided the factory's 3 built-in safety mechanisms actually worked. The surging gas first hit the vent gas scrubber. This chamber is designed to act as a chemical filter, showering any escaping gas with a constant stream of caustic soda to neutralize it before it can travel any further. But on the night of December 2nd, the scrubber was completely turned off. Management had ordered it powered down to save money on daily operational costs. The gas passed straight through the empty chamber without a drop of resistance. The next line of defense was the flare tower. If toxic gas somehow bypassed the scrubber, it was supposed to be piped to this massive chimney and safely burned away in the atmosphere. But the flare tower had been physically disconnected. A corroded pipe segment had been removed for a replacement that would have taken just 2 hours to finish. The company refused to authorize the repair time, leaving the tower completely useless. The gas was now rushing toward the open air, leaving only one final safety measure: the exterior water sprays. These nozzles were mounted on the roof, designed to shoot high-pressure water directly at the exhaust chimney to literally knock the gas out of the sky. When the alarm finally sounded and the workers activated the hoses, the water streams fell pitifully short. During construction, the factory had installed undersized pipes to cut costs, leaving the system with water pressure too weak to reach the top of the chimney. Because of 3 calculated budget cuts, 42 tons of deadly methyl isocyanate gas faced 0 resistance. It poured out of the chimney and began drifting heavily over a sleeping city.
Being a heavy gas, the MIC hugged the ground as it blanketed the Jayaprakash Nagar slum and the nearby railway station. People bundled under heavy winter blankets survived slightly longer, but those sleeping openly were instantly choked, their lungs burning as they gasped for air. Those who could run fled to local hospitals, creating unimaginable chaos. Doctors were entirely in the dark. Union Carbide had never disclosed the specific chemicals they were storing or how to treat exposure to them, forcing desperate hospital staff to hand out fake pills just to prevent mass panic. The official government claims stated that 3,000 people died, but local doctors and ground reports estimate the true initial death toll was closer to 10,000. Over the following decades, more than 500,000 people were left permanently disabled, blind, or chronically ill. When a disaster hits this scale, the immediate question is accountability. 4 days after the leak, the American chairman of Union Carbide, Warren Anderson, landed in Bhopal. Anderson was arrested by local police upon arrival, but he was never taken to a jail cell. Instead, he was placed under a luxurious house arrest inside his own company's private guest house. Just hours later, local authorities mysteriously granted him bail. Anderson was escorted to the airport in official cars and quietly flown to Delhi on a special state plane. Reports suggest he was allowed to slip away as part of a political deal orchestrated at the highest levels of the Indian government. Anderson immediately returned to the United States and never stepped foot in India again to face trial. He lived the rest of his life in freedom, leaving generations of Bhopal residents to endure the physical and economic devastation alone. The Bhopal gas leak was a stark mathematical equation. A massive corporation calculated the financial savings of skipping basic safety maintenance, and thousands of innocent people paid the price.